record does start with this, like, it's like a perfect opening track for shows. Like, I could see the curtain dropping and you guys on stage.
Yeah, there was definitely the idea of like the hook hitting first, second. Mm-hmm. Like, to have a song that doesn't build. Like, not that it sounds like She Loves You, but I was thinking about She Loves You, how that song just bursts straight into the chorus. Like, well, not many songs do that, just like, she loves you, yeah. So I thought I wanted a song like that, where like the first second of it was the main hook of the song, and to make that the first sound anybody hears on the record, just to try and make it as immediate as possible.
How did that song come about? I mean, I'm sure every song is so different the way you guys must collaborate on stuff.
I don't know.
Talk about that one though.
It just clicked in. I didn't have the lyrics written initially. I remember when I started demoing it with John, I just thought, I don't have any of the lyrics. And I usually, if I don't have the finished lyrics, I usually have like, you know, still working lyrics for songs. But that one was just like, I was just going blah, 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 la, la, la. Because I just wanted to hear what it would sound like, you know, like leaving my head and getting recorded. And then it clicked in. Because we thought, wow, this is good. I'm going to have to write lyrics for this.
Is that the hardest part? Lyric writing?
I think for me it is. Because I'm so concerned with like the sound of the vocals and like the melody and the way they flow that the lyrics have to fit in a very specific way. Like, even if I write something that I think is a great line, if it doesn't fit in the song, well, it's just a line that I wrote. You know, so I can't force it into the song because it'll sound clumsy. So, yeah, that's the tricky part. Is
there a lyric you've been working on for years that you haven't been able to figure out what song this should fit into yet? Is there something that's been up there?
No, really, I'm not that attached. I'm far more attached to like pieces of music that I've written than I am to like lyrics. It's not like there's some story I'm desperately need to get out. I really envy people who start with lyrics. I think it must be so much easier to write songs.
Around like, yeah, because you get the themes and stuff, which we can kind of touch on when you're given a movie thing to score. But what about you as a lyricist? Where did lyrics come for you?
It's hard, actually. I struggle with lyrics too, but when I do it, I guess I do it in silence. You know, like I'll have the songs, I'll have the melody, and I won't have any lyrics. I'll have kind of just gibberish, and then I'll go away, and there will be no music, and I'll write the lyrics with it in my head because I cannot do it while the song is playing.
Oh, that's interesting. Has it always been like that in all the bands and everything?
I don't know. I just noticed. I noticed it for the first time, you know, on this last record that I'm working on. I don't know that I've done that, but I noticed it for the first time. I was like, actually, this is how I prefer to do it.
Do your words ever show up on these records, on the new Pornos records?
No.
Or is everything? Or do you write everything, Carl?
Dan writes.
Oh yeah, except for Dan's songs, right? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I pretty much write them all.
And what about when people are singing it? Like, I assume what he's singing are his words. But is that always the case?
How do you mean?
Like, does Dan ever write lyrics for you?
No.
Or do you ever write lyrics for Dan? And be like, no, okay.
The only thing I've ever done on Dan's songs was occasionally do like little arrangement things.
Okay.
But even then, not that much. And all that was like years ago.
I've always wondered too, like how these songs start, probably with you in an acoustic or some sort of demo, maybe a drum machine, synth, whatever. How do they change? Like, what song has changed the most from a demo to what we've heard on the records?
I think Champions of Red Wine really changed a lot. Because it was like, I thought it was a good song, but I didn't know what like the feel of it was going to be. Like, it just seemed like me playing a song on the acoustic. And even when we did the bed tracks, I remember thinking, I'm dropping this song. Like, I remember thinking like, oh, this song is boring. It's not going to make it. But then it sort of took form, became one of my favorites. And then there's weird things like Nico sings lead on it, but her lead was actually supposed to be the harmony. There was actually a lead vocal by me that I just dropped because I thought it sounded better when like her vocal just became the lead vocal. So I like when that sort of stuff happens.
Vocalizations all over this record, like I'm not going to do your own songs to you, but like the oohs and the ahs and like the breathing in and out while vocalizing stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's when all like the group vocals, that's when you just get a bunch of people to sing and you like sift through it later. You're like, okay, what works? You know, because often you just like bring somebody in and they're just like singing. And you know, it's not very tightly arranged. And then you go like, oh, it's great if it breaks down to one vocal and then explodes into 8 vocals. That comes a little later, just arranging it.
Right.
Like the song "You Tell Me Where," that was a real crazy vocal extravaganza.
Mm-hmm.
How come? Or tell me about
Just
it.
had
I
a
don't
lot
really
of
have a question
it
there,
just
but
had a lot of
elaborate.
vocals.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly Hogan, who sings with Nico, she guested on that song, and she did a lot of crazy stuff. And then it was Nico and Kathryn, and then me. So it was like a lot of singing on it.
When you're sifting through all that, how do you know when a song is done?
In a lot of ways, it's not that difficult. It's just like sitting down and like just doing it. Like it isn't like, oh, there's too much to sift. It's not like I can't make the decision. It's just like you're almost too lazy. You're like, let's do this. Like I'm tired. Like let's get this. And
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting better at just like cutting things. You know, cutting things with extreme prejudice. It's like, does it work? Toss it. It's like, are we really going to use this? Toss it. You know, it's like doing spring cleaning. You know, it's like, whatever. Am I ever going to listen to this record? No, toss it. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Okay. I don't know how I'm going to segue that to this, but have you ever gone back and then in the live show been like, oh, we shouldn't have tossed that. Let's add that part back into this song. Have you ever been wrong about tossing something, I guess?
I think other people have been wrong about things. It's funny, like we've just been like rehearsing and listening to our old records and realizing that like when you like play a song live for a long time and without listening to the record, that like our live versions were sort of like moving away from what the recorded one was. So it was interesting to go like, oh, that there should be a vocal line there. I don't sing that vocal line there, and that there should be that keyboard part there.
What songs changed the most
That
that you've realized in the past few days?
What, you mean like an old song?
Yeah, well, when you're going through figuring out, oh, this doesn't sound like that anymore.
Well, they're just little parts.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
subtle. Maybe other people wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like after, like 10 years of playing a song, the other day Carl was like, is anybody doing this piano part that's in there? And Blaine and I are looking
like,
at each
why
other
not?
going,
Why aren't you doing that?
why aren't you doing that? We're like, well, okay. We've been doing something else.
Having fun over here. How
Yeah.
do you choose a set list at this point when you have so many records to pull from?
Our favorites.
I guess it's
Is it your favorites? Because that's yeah.
Well,
It-
the
it-
ones that seem to go over the best. maybe?
it can be tough, but it's also easy, and it's self-evident. Like we don't want to play for 3 hours, so this is album 6. So when we start touring this record, we're going to be doing most of this record, and then that leaves time for like 2 or 3 songs per other record. So if we just go through the records and pick 2 or 3 songs, it's just self-evident. It's like, okay, what are we going to do off Mass Romantic? We'll do Mass Romantic and Slow Descent. Okay, what are we going to do off Electric Version? We'll do Laws of Change and Testament to the Verse, and then it just goes like that.
Self-evident. How come though? Because that's
Just
what became singles, or is that?
Well, those are just like they're great songs. They're songs that people really want to hear. I mean, we could do the deep cuts off those records, but then people would be annoyed that we weren't playing like.
You'd have a few people who'd be really happy about those.
You can kind of tell, like when people are shouting out songs that they want you to play, which is really nice. That they do that, although you can't always hear it. But like people generally, the same songs kind of get yelled because they want to hear the older songs, and there'll be these specific songs.
And I know when we've been on tour, there have been tours where we thought, let's shake up the set list. Where like you get a set list together and it works, but then you go like, let's shake it up and do some other songs, and you go, oh, that didn't work as well. And you try another set list and you go, oh, that didn't work as well. And after like about 2 weeks of touring, you find this set where you go, that works great. Like that, like those are all songs that people want to hear, and we sort of go by that. And then after a while, it gets to the point where we're playing a very similar sets because of that reason. Maybe like changing a few songs. Like when I think of like Twin Cinema is one of those records where I feel like we have to like revolve. Maybe because I guess as if you can call anything by us a hit, I guess Twin Cinema is sort of like a hit-filled record, and then it has has a song Twin Cinnamon. It has Sing Me Spanish Techno and Bleeding Heart Show and Use It and then maybe one or two others, or Jackie Dressed in Cobras. So I feel like that's the one where like we'll just rotate those songs out.
Have you figured out what opens the show every night? Like what works best is like the first song people hear?
Well, I think you mentioned it. I think
That's what you've been opening with.
We've only done one show playing new songs. We opened with Grill Bruisers.
Okay, there you go.
And it seemed like, it's a great opening song.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems natural because it's the first song on the record. I mean, it just seems natural. Like I think when we toured together, we opened up with Moves a lot just because it seemed like, this is how the record starts. It's like a cool way. Isn't it the way the record starts? I think it is. Seems like a good way to start your set. So I think we're going with that. It's interesting to go back through the years and try and remember what we used to open with. The first few years we always opened with Slow Descent. That was our big first number.
What about playing other people's songs in these sets, or no? It's just new porno songs.
It's hard enough to get the band to learn our own songs.
Learn everyone else's. Okay.
Like unless it's a song that the band can learn in about 5 minutes, like it's just hard to. Like what's the last cover we learned? We learned the song "Shocking You" by Shocking Blue. One tour. I'm amazed we learned that one. Yeah, we just have too many songs at this point. Like
Don't Bring Me Down was why. I can't remember why we learned that one.
we did it for a French TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I just want to hear some Immaculate Machine songs.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I feel like I'm never going to hear them again.
You might be right.
There's so many. There's too many songs. I mean, if we were doing, I think when we're doing 2-night stands, which is not that often, I think we're maybe.
I guess someone in Vancouver coming up though.
Yeah, we're doing 2 shows there. So that's when I think we'll have to make some effort to like really like shake it up and figure out like what we're gonna do. But there's just too many songs at this point.
A good problem to have though, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to be able to cherry pick. Because if I'm going back listening to a record and thinking, I'm so sick of that record, it's like, well, all I got to do is find 2 songs from it that I like. And
I do want to kind of.
He's practical.
I'm curious about this hating the records thing because I've heard you talk about it before.
No, I
don't want to go there.
I was just joking.
Yeah, I know. The F Word, or I guess the movie's called What If now.
Yeah.
With Daniel Radcliffe. I saw it at TIFF last year, and I found out you did the music for it.
Yeah. Well, I did.
The score.
Yeah, I did the score.
Yeah.
I always qualify that because there's about 3 or 4 Patrick Watson songs that are like very heavily featured. So when anybody says, "Oh, I really love the score you did," it's like, well, I just did the incidental music. Like the guy singing beautifully, that was not me. That was Patrick Watson.
But writing with like when they give you it must be different writing with like something in mind as opposed to just I'm in my room, I'm writing a song, whatever comes.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a good thing. It was all done concurrently with this record, so it was a good thing. I think it helped the writing process, and that you look at a scene and you just start writing something. Like I didn't have anything written. I thought I got to write something, and just out of nothing. Like I had nothing written this morning, but today I got to write something, and you're not as precious about it. And I mean, the fact that there's no lyrics for the most part makes it easier. It's like, all I got to do is come up with music. Oh, it's a cakewalk. This is no stress. And also because you're not precious about it, like I would give Mike some music, and if he didn't think it worked, I'd go, okay, well, I'll trash it. Or, if it doesn't work in the scene, it doesn't work in the scene. And then it just means I've got this extra, if I like it, it just means I've got this extra piece of music that I can rework and make into my own song. And that's what the song Backstairs is.
I thought there was one on the record.
Yeah, Backstairs was just like a little abandoned piece of soundtrack music that I just like wrote into its own song.
It's different. That's cool. Did it change your approach to writing at all? Like, did you learn anything about songwriting from writing to visuals, I guess?
I don't know, that it's not that difficult.
Yeah, all right.
It's not that difficult what I do. I really think it isn't. Like I think it's just not like writing a novel.
Did it get easier over time?
What for me?
Writing, yeah.
I think so. I mean, I still haven't figured it out, but I think it's just you just got to put your head down and start working.
That's good advice.
I think you take for granted, though, that you have a really strong vision at the beginning, generally, when you start making a record.
That leaves?
No, that I think he's taking for granted, his strong musical sensibility, because I don't think it's easy for everybody. That's all I'm saying. To make a record, versus writing. I mean, definitely versus writing a novel, because novels take 7 years. But some people's records take 7 years, too.
I just don't understand why it would.
Yeah. No, I understand that. But that wasn't my point.
I just think people are lazy. That's my theory. I feel like, for me, if I haven't done enough, it's because of laziness.
I agree.
Do you try and write a song a day?
No, that would be different. I mean, for me, it's a lot. For me, writing songs, it's like a long. So some people like to do that. It's funny that songwriter Dan Wilson is in the middle of that right now. He's been tweeting about it.
Oh, semi-sonic Dan Wilson.
Yeah. Who co-writes with Adele and never has to work again because he writes with Dixie Chicks and Adele. But he's a very cool guy. I met him once, and he was doing that, writing a song a day. And for me, it's I just have a lot of works, a lot of songs in the works. I don't go, I've written a song, okay, that's done. Here's a second song. Here's a third song. I have 30 songs in the air at once, and so when people ask me how many songs have you got written, my answer is always it's either 0 or 30. I don't know, but I think for me a lot of songwriting it's wrapped up in the arrangement as well. I don't know if I just approach it from a very different way. There's one song I think I finally got there. I think it's finally written, and it was just a riff that I wrote in 2009 that I think we've tried recording it 3 times, and I thought this is a great riff, and I was just trying to find a song for it. And then once I had the music, I was I can't find the melody for this, or I can't find the lyric. It just didn't fit. And I feel I just found it. It took 5 years, but I just found it. It's I think I've got this song.
What song is that?
Finished. Well, it's not. We haven't.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
We started recording it. I think its working title was Master Class, but it's not going to have that title. In fact, you probably sang on it. It was an abandoned song from this record, but I just trashed it.
Okay.
What song do you shoot the video for? We don't have much time. I want to let you go.
Okay.
But we came in here and you were talking about the video.
Yeah.
Saying how much fun it was.
Yeah. This really surreal, very creative video that we were on shoot for yesterday.
Yeah. Scott Cudmore is the director.
Yeah, I mean, it's
What's the concept? You're going to be very vague about it?
Yeah, going to be vague about it.
So I shouldn't have asked
Going to be vague about it. But it was for Dance Hall Domine.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 quick questions, 1-word answers.
Okay.
Road or studio?
Studio?
Yeah, studio.
Lennon or McCartney?
Both.
Yeah, I can't make that choice.
When you hear a song, what usually hits you first? Lyrics, melody, or rhythm?
Oh, melody.
Melody?
If someone's never heard New Pornographers before, what song do they start with?
Mass Romantic?
Brill Bruisers.
Okay, Brill Bruisers, definitely.
You can say different answers, that's
How
allowed.
about...
The new album.
Yeah, Brill Bruisers.
Always go with the new album.
In one word, the New Pornographers.
Brill.
Then you have to say. Awesome. Thanks,
That's
guys.
good. It was like we had that rehearsed.
Yeah.
Brill Bruisers.
Except it wasn't quite like that.
We're supposed to have the
Yeah, it wasn't as clean.
We're supposed to do it like an argument. Brill.
Bruisers.